What?
Well, welcome back to another Run Disney Rundown. Feels like it's only been a few weeks since we've had this discussion, but we are back again to talk about Princess Weekend.
Well, it's that time of year. So you got Wine and Dine, you got Marathon Weekend, you have Princess, Springtime. They all kind of jumble together when you do them all.
Yeah,
But thank goodness we didn't do Disneyland.
that's true. Congratulations to those who did. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Heard pretty overall I think positive things from Disneyland Weekend.
Yeah, I need to find I didn't have my handy dandy course videographer for this one, so I need to find someone who did.
Weird. Oh,
Oh,
there
are
we
we
go.
back? Are we
Sorry.
back?
Yeah, that was weird.
Connection went out.
Please let us know if you guys can hear us, if the connection's okay. I've never had that happen before. That's interesting.
Maybe.
Could be a fun show here.
Yeah.
But we had Wine and Dine registration last week as well. Always a fun one. I think
Yeah.
probably maybe your first favorite, my second favorite race weekend.
I think Wine and Dine is now my first favorite, for sure.
And that's okay. That is an excellent first favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, that really, like, for what you get in the Wine and Dine package, like, that's the best weekend value-wise for sure with the after party and everything.
And it's usually, barring if you do Disneyland in the fall, it's like the first one back, after a little while.
Yeah, yeah, it's that first back after the break, which, again, makes it feel like the family reunion. And then, you get to do the parks with everyone, which, like, not a lot of our group always does, is, like, hang out in the parks with each other. So
true.
it's a fun, different thing.
Yeah, very true.
And especially, too, I think we ride more rides that night than, like, we ever do when we go in the park alone.
Yes.
But anyways, if you registered, congratulations, and we will see you there. But we are here to talk about Princess Race Weekend. We are signed up for the challenge. If you're signed up to run Princess, let us know what you are running this weekend. And we are excited. I mean, Princess, like, always feels like a low-key weekend for us. Especially this weekend, we're, like, in and out.
Yeah, we're actually, it's part of a multi-state experience for us.
Yep, we, after the half, fly up to New York. We'll be in New York for a while, and then we'll be in Pennsylvania for the better part of a week. So that'll all be fun, though.
Fun trips.
But why don't we get into this? Sarah says, I'm doing my first challenge ever. I'm so excited. We are excited for you. Good luck. We'll see you out there.
I think Princess was my first challenge ever.
Also my first challenge.
Yeah, and you came and cheered for my first one?
No, I was...
You ran.
Yeah, I think you had already run your first challenge before.
Oh, okay.
I watched you at Wine and Dine before I ran my first weekend, but Princess was my first weekend.
Gotcha. Okay. A long time ago.
Was a long time ago. You're right. If you guys have questions about Princess Weekend, feel free to drop them in the comments. We always love to chat. That's really the lifeblood of our getting ready live streams here. But Expo. So, as I said, we will not be at the Expo first day, so we will not be there hanging about or anything. First day Expo, pretty usual, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. You will have the virtual queue for merchandise there in the morning. If you've never done that, you do access it through the Walt Disney World app, just like you would join a virtual queue for Tiana's or Guardians of the Galaxy. That just shows up usually a day or two before. You'll see Wide World of Sports shows up as a virtual queue option. But again, you join that the same way that you do any of the other park rides that have virtual queue. Uh-oh. There it goes. Now it says we're back. Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know why we've like never done these shows and had connection issues. Anyways, it looks like we are back, so we will keep on going. Let us know though if the stream is seeming a little spotty. We are a little bit off and on with our internet right now, which is interesting. But yeah, we will be at the expo the second day in the afternoon. Expo hours for day 2 run 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then day 3, Saturday, they run 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Expo itself really is not different than anything we've talked about pretty recently. They've really like streamlined the RunDisney process into a lot of the same for every single race weekend, which isn't all bad, especially for the expo. Um, but yeah, there's definitely like not a lot of variety to talk about, especially when we get into the courses. We've seen all of these courses pretty frequently here. Let me switch that to that. I don't know why it would want to work like that, but that's fine. Yeah, so the layout for the expo is the same that we are very much used to. Building A is the RunDisney merchandise there. That's right when you get in. You have the globe in the center part, and then you walk all the way up the hill by the baseball stadium. You do need to go to Building C first. Something that we don't always talk about is if you want your shirts, you have to do your bib pickup because your bib or your shirt tag is connected to your bib. Someone had mentioned that we don't really talk about that very often, and they went to get their shirts first thinking they were going to be smart and skip the line and realized they had to go back out and go back in.
It's a good tip. Good thing to say.
Yeah, so they really should label it like C or B and then C on here because you do have to go to Building C before you go to Building B. But yeah, Building C will be where you do your bib pickup. That's also if you have any issues, runners relations, and all of that is there. And then Building B will be your main expo as well as your shirt pickup.
Yep. I think it's also good to note too that Building C, where your bib pickup is where they have generally moved the character photo ops.
Yeah.
Near right? It's like the same
It's in the same
room.
area as bib
Yeah.
pickup, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just one half of that section is characters now,
Yeah.
which was a good move from the merchandise area.
Yeah, for sure. And then also keep in mind for Princess, they typically have some additional photo ops, usually outside of the arenas, kind of between the walkway between C and B, like Cinderella's carriage. The like footmen are typically out there, so that's a fun kind of princess specific thing that you can look for.
Yeah, the carriage with the footmen's like usually pretty staple for being out there for a race weekend for sure. Otherwise, I don't really have a whole lot to say about the expo. This is not a big one for us. First day will be, a first day expo. I don't think it'll be quite as crazy as Walt Disney World has been or Walt Disney World weekend was. But, it's still a first day expo. People are going to go crazy for merch. I believe we already saw some of the merch, right?
Yes,
that came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah, a few weeks ago. I do know there are some items that are already very popular. There's a like shiny, like not like luminescent. I don't know what the proper word is, but jacket that looks really cool. It's like purple. I know that's gonna go real quick. So it'll be interesting to see what goes where. And I'm really excited to see if they have a special cup. They have new cups now.
Yeah, we are a big fan of the special cups.
Yep.
Pretty psyched. Coronado is a great resort to stay at for a race weekend.
That's where we're staying as well. Is that we said it, so
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't. That's
we're
fine.
live. Okay, we were also at Coronado. We haven't stayed there for a couple of races, so.
But yeah, it's so easy to drive from there because it's just a right turn and a right turn, and you're there.
Yep.
But that will bring us into our first event here. Let me see. Where do we want to start? Race transportation. That would be a good spot to be. So the 5K, note that there is yoga, but yoga is the Monday after the race weekend, which for planning purposes, I was getting real confused why
the day was going that
Yeah,
way.
why it says that the race weekend extends to Monday. I'm like, are they crazy? It does not.
It
And then I was
was
like, oh, wait a minute.
peek into the future. We were looking at cruises for after Princess next year, tentative, nothing planned yet, but they did the same thing. And so I was thinking we couldn't leave until like the second or the third, but the second's the Monday.
Yeah.
It was messing me up.
Yeah, that yoga after is pretty tough here. So we do have the race transportation, and this actually covers all of the
That's nice.
race weekends here. So we'll just go over this quick so we can one and done it. But the 5K and 10K, all of the race transportation is pretty much the same except for the finish line. Two resorts runs a little bit later for the 10K. But 3 a.m. is your bus start time for the 5K and 10K. That is from all the Walt Disney World resorts. And note that the monorail is not running for the 5K or 10K.
Only for the half.
Yes. At general rule of thumb is
how it is.
monorail only runs for races that the race runs through Magic Kingdom. We did also just have someone tell us they were excited because they booked Bay Lake for Wine and Dine weekend. I was like, well, I hate to break it to you, but the monorail does not run for that one.
Do they run it for the after party or no?
No.
Because I know they don't do the Skyliner either.
Nope. The monorail will only ever run for Walt Disney World half and full and Princess half. But all of that transportation for the half marathon is $230.
Unless you book Contemporary specifically for a Princess Half Marathon, and then the monorail breaks afterwards, and then 20 million runners are trying to get Ubers.
That also happened to us one
Because that
time.
happened to us.
That happened to us. Anyways, yeah, $230 for your marathon or half marathon busing situation. And then we can move into start groups. Start groups looks pretty much the same as what we saw for Walt Disney World. A lot of this looks pretty much copy and pasted from Walt Disney World weekend. Again, seems like they're really on this streamline, courses, start times, corrals, like all of this is really streamlined into one like congruent.
Yeah, I think it's generally good. I think the only downside is we like to see different like course
variety
things, but it's not a huge like deal breaker.
Yeah, course variety is definitely my big like L from this.
Yeah.
But we will get into that, except for the 5K, I will say. There's just not a lot you can do with the 5K.
Epcot at night, it's great.
But yeah, your start groups, they open up at 3:45, and then as you can see on the chart here, depending on your group, has your close time and your projected start time. So, Group A starts at about 5. It's got Group B going out at 5:06, which means there's probably only 2 waves of Group A there. Usually you're looking at about 3 or so minutes in between waves, 2 to 3 minutes. Probably 2 minutes, actually, with 3 groups going out at A is what it looks like this math breaks down to. Well, there's even and odd numbers in here, so I don't know. It's something. They have a magic number for that. Yeah, let's talk about the course.
Are you okay?
I don't know. It's been a long day, guys. I got stuck at work super late last night. Didn't get my long run in today. We had a fun day at IKEA, though.
We did. We went to IKEA. It was fun.
Yep. Built some furniture.
Yep. Very organized.
Yes. But let's talk about this 5K course. This is the same course that we saw for Wine and Dine and Walt Disney World weekend, as I mentioned before. And I love, this is the best 5K course that we've had in a really long time. Like, this being the same is definitely the, this being the same is definitely the best because the 5K is pretty much always going to be an Epcot course. And this course gets you in the park just a little bit earlier than it used to. And I think it just gives you a really solid amount of Epcot.
Doing, like, all of Epcot.
Yeah, you really do. Yeah, so again, Wine and Dine 5K and Walt Disney World 5K videos that I have out are both going to be of this course. What was that? Average pace to get into Group A. I can swing back around to that when we get into the half marathon because there's not proof of time for the 5K or 10K. But it's actually slower than an hour and a half. It's actually around 2 hours, give or take. But yeah, love this 5K course. We are not running the 5K though. It's not part of the challenge. Not that that always stops us. Sometimes we do just like to do a 5K.
I almost signed up for this one.
I know you did. And then I actually like convinced myself that you had, and I was like, I think Katie's going a day earlier.
Nope.
But yes, this is an excellent 5K
Yeah,
course. I do
so
love
much
that
fun.
one.
The picture in front of Spaceship Earth, once you do that roundabout, like we stopped for that at Marathon Weekend.
Yep.
And it was super like quick picture, but it's like so cool
Oh,
looking.
one of my
So
favorite
like
RunDisney pictures.
don't character pictures are awesome, even though like they have the lines. Don't pass up all these like really cool like
The scene, like the park
scene,
icon
yeah,
stops are some of my favorite
and
character
they're quicker.
stops. Only other thing I will go over here, and again, we'll kind of one and done this as well, is the spectator and start area. This looks again the same as our last couple race weekends. You do have basically once the buses drop you, you go through regular Epcot security, and then you take that walk out to go back towards the parking lot, which is where the lower spectator viewing is on this map. And then you are heading up into that reunion area. That's where you're going to have your bag check all the way to the right towards the back down there, which is also where you end up for runners relations after you finish. And then you head up past the reunion towards the entertainment and the characters, and that's where you're going to get into your start groups over there. Again, this looks pretty much the same as most of our other previous race weekends here. But your normal flow is to be going up through, if you're checking your bag for any of these races, do your bag check, and then head over towards your start groups once you're ready.
Yep. Pretty
standard there.
Yeah.
Let me know if you have any other questions on the 5K before we move on to the 10K there. 10K. Jasmine, yeah. I do. I like the themes and the coloring for this race weekend for sure.
Yes. Big fan.
10K start groups. Here we go. So we'll talk about the 10K here. First day for the Princess Challenge runners. You have your start group, open times, and starts on here. Again, that group A, 5 a.m., and then it looks like last group will be going off at around 5:56 here for group G. Is that how many we had for Walt Disney World? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't remember either.
The race weekend is over. I have purged that knowledge to make room for more.
Yeah, for those that were asking about Group A, Tony just posted up here. This is pretty close to the information. There is not a magic like guarantee number anymore. Some of it depends on registered runners and runners within that pace range. But let's go ahead and get the course up. Again, kind of the same routine as the 5K. This is the same course that we've seen for Wine and Dine 10K and Walt Disney World 10K. Looks like they're really just leaning into that one course, which is a shame. I really like the last few years where we had the bounce around with the 10K courses. You had the one course that would take you to Hollywood, and then this course. I do love this course. I would love the variety. Maybe we'll get lucky and see that come back for springtime.
Yep.
But I don't think so, because when this course was certified, it was literally certified as the 2025 10K course, basically, instead of a race-specific course. Just something interesting to note. Good course, though. Solid course. I like this one. This is the start. You have a little bit of highway time here. First 3 miles, you do that little out and back and go up onto the highway in the overpass section there. And then you do that little turnaround like when you're running the half marathons. But then after mile 3, you are in the park and you get pretty much all of Epcot again. because you are going in and you're swinging around World Nature and going through the center there, and then you get a little bit of the World Showcase area. I love the section going around yacht, beach, boardwalk, all of that. I think that's just always fun. You're not in the park, but you're on stage, so I think the theming and everything, the lighting is still always very pretty around there. And you'll get a couple people, out there not really cheering because they kind of discourage that, but people
Golf
out there
clapping.
spectating is fun. Yeah. You get the little section where you can see the people going out to Yacht Club while you're coming in after Boardwalk there, and then you get to do the whole loop around World Showcase to finish that off. You go around over towards, I don't know, World Discovery, I believe is that section there, turning in by Connections, and then again, you get to do right out in front of Spaceship Earth there. You do pretty much a quick little loop around Spaceship Earth, and you get to finish not around Guardians, which is always something that makes a race course better to me,
Yes.
not having to run out past the backside and going around the Guardians building. So yeah, I like this course. This is a solid one, a fun one. Excited for this one. I am probably going to be racing this one, and I haven't raced a 10K or a RunDisney run in quite a while, so it should be fun.
Yeah, and I'm doing this one with one of my good friends who did her first 10K with me at Disneyland last year, and she got the RunDisney bug. So we're doing this one together, and she just signed up to do Wine and Dine half, and I'm very proud
Her
of
first
her.
half, yeah.
But we are dressing up, not like full on cosplaying princesses, but definitely inspired.
You're like athletic princess esque.
Yes, I'm very sparkly. I'm very sparkly. Everything I'm wearing is sparkly. So I'm very excited.
Yeah. But then that brings us pretty much into the big one, the half marathon. The one thing I do want to go over before we get into the course and stuff for that is the spectator areas. I do like that they give you a pretty good
Guide.
list and guide for these now. And one thing that's pretty cool is that Grand Floridian is like an accessible way now because they have that parking lot section that you can very reasonably get to cheer for runners. Of course, you can get into Magic Kingdom from 5:20 to 7:30. You can be in there without any sort of charge. After 7:30, you would need a park ticket to be in there cheering. But for anyone that's run either Walt Disney World Half or Princess, that part is the big hype. Running in through Main Street there with all of the cheering and everything. It's just, a really special
nice.
moment of the race, and probably one of the biggest highlights of like all RunDisney races, to be honest, is doing that and running through the castle. And then you have pretty much the usual, they actually have Contemporary Resort listed as a cheering spot, which is kind of interesting because they used to like really actively discourage that.
Oh, nice. It's nice, like it's same with the Grand Floridian. If they have like a designated area and like people helping with the flow of traffic, it's nice to get people out there like cheering, and you don't have to worry about, getting in trouble.
Yeah, and then the only other, oh yeah, they do have Ticket and Transportation Center there listed, which is another
A
just
good
fun
spot.
part because of
A
the
lot of people
spectators. Yeah.
can get in there and cheer.
Yeah, and then of course Epcot, you can see the start and finish. If you have tickets into Epcot, you can also go into Epcot and cheer, which is a pretty fun way to do it as well. And let's go ahead and talk about this course. Oh, this course. So we saw this course for the first time during Walt Disney World weekend. I think most people were less than excited once we actually ran it. I still am trying to reserve my judgment for it until I run it this time.
Yes,
And
giving
see.
it another chance.
Yeah, and see, there were some problems with it, but there were some opportunities that they definitely could improve upon. Trying to see if I can get this in a way that I can zoom in on it, but it is being a little bit of a pain here. Wait, that might be. Yeah, that's what
bingo.
I needed. Yeah. Wish I had realized it was that easy like 10 minutes ago when we had started. That's why it's fun doing these live, though. Again, if you guys have any questions about the races, about Princess Weekend, feel free to drop them in here, and we will go ahead and chat about those. but we'll talk about this course pretty in depth here. Again, my Walt Disney World half marathon weekend will be this course. That video is a little bit funny though, just because we're like goofing around and doing a scavenger hunt during it. So it's not quite my normal race video. It's still pretty much in line. You see the course and all of that, but there's some shenanigans going on. But again, we do this Epcot start here, and you're going out. You have to do this little loop to get up onto Epcot Center Drive, so then you can then merge onto World Drive. So that first part can be a little bit more congested than I think most of us would prefer for a half marathon. Really, like the half marathon needs to start with a little more openness to get you to spread out. That little loop there is just a single lane and can be a little bit busy. Once you get out though onto the merge onto World Drive, you open up for a couple miles. You mean we don't have to run
You
through
don't
the
have
bushes?
to.
You don't have to. Maybe you can find the one book that was never found. But
What? Oh,
mile 2, 2, 3 is going to be pretty open. You're all on that overpass there. I think the area that really causes the first set of concerns is from like mile 3.5 to like 4.5. This section was really dark for Walt Disney World weekend.
it's been under construction,
Yeah.
so especially on the half when it that day it rained, there were lots of very large puddles and potholes, and then like the wetness of the ground with like some like lights and police cars was like disorienting for a bit. um it felt better the next day, so I don't know if it's because it was drier, if it was like
Next day was definitely
it
better. It
felt
was
better.
clear and the moon was like almost full, so it was a little bit lighter
Yeah,
naturally. And it was also a little bit later into the race, so there was more time for people to spread
yeah.
out for the full marathon, which
One,
again is why I'm trying to like
yeah, give
save
it a
judgment. But I'm
chance.
gonna, we'll warn
Be
you about
honest, but
what we thought from this
we're
time.
not going to go in with a sour attitude if we can help it. But I do want to point out that that stretch 2, 3 to 4, the highway bit that you're running on, I noticed when I was doing it is a bit like tilted compared to like when you run through the Magic Kingdom gate, the Ticket Transportation Center like gate. We're on the road next to it, and it's a little graded, I guess is the word for it. So like just something to be aware of, because like it did start to like kind of bother like some of my like running posture a little bit through there. So
Yeah, and
just
going
be
like
aware.
that area in front of Polynesian and everything, there's like some lane switches and stuff, and it's all coned off okay, but it is like sometimes
Yeah.
you're running in the left lane, then you're in the right lane, and yeah, it's all over the place with that construction right now. It's
It's just weird. Who knows how far along they've gotten on the construction between then and now. We'll see.
But yeah, then you run through Grand Floridian though, and you get to what is a really cool section is this path from Grand Floridian to Magic Kingdom. Couple things to keep in mind though is as soon as you get to that section, it is a hard left turn down a hill. They have like hay bales and stuff. I'm sure someone's tripped over it. But then also a lot of people were like trying to stop because for Walt Disney World weekend they had the electrical parade out. I would hope that they would do that again for this weekend. It was really special. But a lot of people like wanted to stop, and that turn is like hard and down the hill there. It's rough. And then the path is a walking path, it's maybe 8 or not 8 feet, I would say, across. So it does get, a little bit tight, a little bit condensed. I will say if you're going to stop and take pictures of the parade and all of that, wait until you get past that water stop and the path has some grass sections to the left and the right there. That would be a better place to stop and do your photos and all
Hmm.
of that.
I think it's a better like setup for your photo too.
Oh, for sure. You're
Yeah.
closer to where the parade was staged because the parade was staged really like after mile 5 because you went across one of the full bridge sections already before you
Hmm.
were even at
Yeah.
it. And over there was where they were actually playing music for the electrical parade. Marathon day, this was like definitely a really
It was
cool
better.
section to
Yeah,
run.
it was so much better on the marathon day. Except when I went through on marathon day, the sun had come up. But that's okay.
Yeah, and then of course you hit your Magic Kingdom section, which is different from previous Princess weekends, but also still the same from Marathon weekend here. You do enter, you go straight down Main Street. That hasn't changed too much, but you do hang that left now, and you go around through Adventureland, over by Pirates, and then you swing by Tiana's, go all the way up through, oh my gosh.
Liberty Square.
Yeah, go through Liberty Square, past Frontierland through Liberty Square, and then you're going into Fantasyland over by Haunted Mansion. You go by the Tangled bathrooms there. They had characters out over there. I think we stopped for Flynn during the half marathon this year. And that's right where you hit mile 6. And also right at like mile 6 too, they had characters in the Philharmonic section. That line was super long. I think it was Minnie and Mickey that time.
I think that sounds right.
But yeah, there was another set of characters there, and they had the pirates out. Yeah, that was during the half. On the main stage
Yeah.
in Adventureland as well. So pretty good amount of characters through the Magic Kingdom section. Of course, you get through the castle, and then the only difference is when you're going through the castle, we used to always go right. You are now going left, which does still throw me off a little bit. But you go left, go down the ramp there, and then you can get your photos in the front of the castle there. Usually plenty of setup for that. And then you are doing a real quick in and out of Tomorrowland. I think there's, for Walt Disney World, there was a character over on that left side there. And then you're going over towards Carousel of Progress and exiting over on that side there. And, overall, I don't really think we lost anything with that. You're just kind of running a different section of Magic. We used to do like more of Tomorrowland and more of Fantasyland, but we didn't do any of Adventureland. So it feels like a pretty similar, at least length in the park.
Yeah, I think so.
But then you are back out. You do, again, because this is all kind of backwards, you exit a little bit different. You're exiting through a like cast service exit. Still over by Contemporary there, but you go out that, and then you're going past Contemporary, and this is where you'll go into the TCC where we used to go out. Go in that section there. They'll have water and medical is right at the beginning of that section as well. And then you do that little loop in through the TTC where people will be cheering for you. That's all good and fun. You are saved a little bit from
yeah, you don't have to do like random zigzags through ticket transportation
like marathon.
center.
The other thing I will say is you have this hard like right angled turn. That section I thought was pretty dark as well, if it's still dark for you.
Yeah, most of us don't have that problem.
Well, if you do, it was still dark. There's just like no, like for being in the parking lot, there's nothing in that section because you're in the trees and the big pile of dirt from the construction that they used to be doing there.
Sometimes they put characters out there.
Yeah, I mean specifically in that turn section there.
Oh, okay.
There's just like nothing in there to like let light in.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, there was characters at the next right angle turn once you're actually in the parking lot. They had characters out. I do like this little section here over right after mile 8 because you have the runners coming over the overpass there and you're going under them there. It's just always fun to like holler at the runners, tell everyone they're doing a good job. And then you are on your path back to Epcot here and you're running pretty much straight up World Drive. This looks pretty similar if you've run any of the Magic Kingdom-esque half marathons. Same side of the road, you're doing the overpass there, and then the finish here is going to look pretty similar where you're doing the up and down the wavy hills up through mile 11 here. You do that sharp pinhead turn. You hit 12 right before you get into Epcot there. They've been doing a character like right on the right in the busing station. Just keep an eye out. It's like super hard to, or super easy to miss if you're not ready for it.
Until you're right on top of it.
Yeah, it's like right after, like the 12 sign is like right at it too. So just keep an eye out for that. And then once you're back in the park here, you have just a real quick jump across to Epcot. You're going straight across and out through the Guardians exit. There's pretty consistently been a picture stop in the center there that you can stop and get your Spaceship Earth photos with as well. That's been good. And then again, yeah, quick out and right along that backside behind Wonders of Life is typically where your last character of the race will be. And then you are on to your half marathon and challenge finish.
Easy
Just
peasy.
all, yeah,
Just like that.
all good and fun. Again, if you guys have any questions about Princess Weekend, hi Christy, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to drop them here in the chat. I am excited about this weekend. I'm excited just to be doing Run Disney again, even after, just doing Dopey. Again, different course here. Excited to give this course a second chance and see what I think.
Yeah.
Maybe I decide that, this course isn't it. I do still miss the highway start, which I think I mention pretty frequently here.
I think they like the ease of the setup in the parking lot, and having it the same for each race, which is also really fun to see them changing the sign every day. We usually kept them doing that.
Yeah, usually
Uh,
that sign's changed before you leave.
oh yeah. So I, ease into the convenient things for them. But yeah, hopefully the course does go a little bit more smoothly than it did at January, which I think is likely because I think like Disneyland, like same course generally from January to September last year, but they still improved quite a bit and made it feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I think the lighting in that one section was probably the biggest complaint, just like the condition of the road on that course,
Yeah.
which, some of that is hard to for Run Disney to control because that is active construction, but hopefully they get that at least a little bit more smoothed out.
Yeah. Good chance.
Yeah, the lighting at least would help a lot to have
Yep.
more lighting in that section.
What Disney princess character from this weekend are you most excited about?
Ooh, I don't know if there's one I'm most excited about. I do like that with this one you get a lot of face characters. Because typically through the weekend you're going to see most of the princesses.
Yep.
So it is fun to
Probably
see.
see Aladdin.
Any plans to do a Run Disney race overseas? There are currently not any overseas races. They have not brought.
They haven't done the. I thought they had one in one of the Asian parks. That's
So
like
Hong
not Run
Kong does
Disney,
have a
but
10K.
it's not Run Disney like Paris is.
No, and I believe is done through their like local running. I want to say local running club, but it's a bigger organization. But they do have a 10K, and then Castle de Chateau has not come back, or Paris Run Disney weekend.
That would be cool.
Yeah, we
Maybe.
would definitely.
Yep. Back when they were still doing them, we weren't as employed as we are now, so we didn't have travel to France money.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, we had like before, all of those things had gone away. We had discussed
We did talk about it.
2024 was
Yes.
like the year of it, but it never came back to actually
That's true.
materialize at that time.
I forgot that we had like seriously talked about it. We had our little group of friends that we were like, okay, this is the year that we're all going to travel and go do it. But they pulled the rug out from underneath us.
Yeah. I don't know. Princess Weekend is I forget who I was talking to, but it was like Princess Weekend, like I feel like offers the least now for runners compared to like all of the other, like every other weekend I feel like has things that make it a little bit different and special, and Princess still follows the original like recipe, which was okay when Princess was uber popular and it was, hosting 20 plus thousand runners, and was one of the largest runners like or one of the largest races in America at the time.
That was true.
It's like springtime, you get all the races, which is pretty cool. And it's like different distances. You get the 10 miler. And they've tried to do a couple different things. Like the first year, we had the 5K through Everest, which was pretty cool. Wine and Dine, you get the after party.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Walt Disney Weekend is all about Dopey,
Mm-hmm.
and then Princess Weekend is just like there.
I don't know. I think that might just be like a personal feeling for you. I feel like Princess is still like pretty special for a lot of people because I think a lot of people who want that run through the castle experience but don't want to like do Dopey or like sometimes at Walt Disney World weekend, like if you're not doing the marathon or Dopey, you kind of feel like a little like not the center of attention, whereas Princess like if you're doing the challenge or you're doing the half and you're running through the castle, like, like you're the big event.
Yeah, I totally understand that. And it's still like a big weekend for sure, I mean, all the weekends still sell out, obviously. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it just like it doesn't have anything extra to like make it pop out like some of the other weekends have now. But yeah, I don't know if anyone
Interesting
has any
viewpoint.
other questions here. I don't know. It just, if I were to pick a race weekend to skip, not that we are, I think Princess would be the pick right now.
Maybe it's like shifting into a really good time of year for me. So like I'm all about it. Because this year too, and next year I can take a vacation afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, so can
So I'm
I.
all about
And
it.
again, like, I love Princess. First half marathon, it's always been a fun race weekend. I don't like actually have it. There's nothing keeping me from doing it.
You heard it here first, folks. Lake hates Princess. He does not like it.
Yep.
Nothing special. Why does he even bother showing up?
I mean, the nothing special is part of a word that came out of my mouth. So.
You know what is there that's special, though?
What?
Me.
That's fair.
Okay. He clearly doesn't like women. I noticed that,
Okay, could we not like put that out there, please?
Okay, take it back. Lake is a wonderful
yeah,
supporter
it is
of all
going to
people.
be a little bit chilly this weekend. Not quite marathon level chilly.
It's gonna be good weather, I think.
Yeah.
Because I went out, I did the run club this morning, and oh boy, it was humid. So I'm excited for next weekend.
Yeah, dropping a little bit of the humidity and the hotness that we've had this weekend is going to be looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah. I'm excited to have a Snow White shirt. And a Snow White medal.
When's the last time we had Snow White?
Like a while, I think. We have to go look at our medal wall and see. But it's been a while. Because I've been waiting. I know they're doing it because they have the new live action coming out. So I should have like called that when I first signed up for just the half and then had to upgrade it. But
that is true. Katie did do that.
I like Snow White.
Yeah,
and I
okay.
care nothing about Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah. I mean, that is the other thing is like, it's the princess themed races.
True.
They're typically going to be after some of the most popular characters.
Yeah, but Sleeping Beauty is boring. Her music is good, and that's about it.
Yeah. I don't have any skin in that game. All right, we'll take questions here for a few more minutes, and then we will probably close out. Be a little bit of a quicker show, since we did talk for 2 hours after marathon, which was a blast. We loved that show.
Show is very fun. Maybe we'll have 2 hours to talk about after this one too. Belle is a good one. It's been a few. We're gonna have to report back on some of how long it's been. I know Once Upon a Marathon has like a full-on spreadsheet that tracks like
all the themes
and how often they are and how like the percentage each princess gets, which is awesome. We just go off of the vibes and the medals. But
yeah, I believe it's George says you inspired me to start running after my bariatric surgery. I did my first RunDisney 5K a couple weeks ago, and I'm training for next year's half marathon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, we love that.
Okay, please keep
and
in
coast
touch.
to coast next year.
Coast to coast is awesome. Keep in touch. Let us know how your training's going, and let us know when you're gonna be at the race so that we can cheer you on and see how you do.
Yeah, we love that. Good luck. Happy training. Let us know what race weekends you're gonna be at. Oh, that's so exciting.
Which marathon next year? Which half marathon next year? If you know which one you want to do.
I'm gonna guess Walt
January,
Disney World.
But yeah, you never know.
Yeah, and then coast to coast.
Are we gonna do coast to coast next year?
That might be hard because we don't know what's going on with some of the weekends.
Oh yeah, they haven't told us.
Also, we're probably gonna be in Alani.
Yeah, but if we're gonna go to Alani, then we should just do a little stop.
Stop and do the
stop in Disneyland.
I mean, I did have a lot of fun when we did that.
Yeah. Okay. Villains.
Yes, watching your
5K.
videos inspired me. The next one is Villains 5K and Princess Half. And I'll
Nice.
be taking my family on. Nice. Love it.
Nice. That's awesome.
Villains 5K. Is that Halloween 5K? Is that what
I think
we're...
so.
Yeah, the Disneyland 5K and 10K are like gems.
Especially for the Halloween.
Yeah.
Their decorations through the parks are just so unbelievably cool. I would do weather is tough, but I would probably pick to do the September weekend above doing the January weekend.
Yeah, the themes for January this year didn't really like excite me in any way. I mean, they
I
were
love Dumbo.
cool. Yeah, and I like Ahsoka.
Yeah, but they're so like random.
Yeah, they were just very disjointed.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
wintertime
Very
surprise Disneyland weekend,
Yeah.
which is fine. Like different themes are cool.
And popular characters. I think they were just like, who's popular? Let's pull them in. So I get it.
But yeah, if we don't have any questions, we might close it out just a little bit quicker this time. Usually we go a little bit over an hour here. We do have 20 people watching though, so we do
That's awesome.
appreciate you
Thank
guys
you.
all, yeah, being here. Thank you so much. Other couple things, we do have just a couple gray hats left. I'll bring them to Princess. If you're going to be at Princess and you're watching this, shoot us a message on Instagram. We have 2 left, and then we will be completely sold out, which is pretty cool.
I think we'll, in case anyone's wondering or asking, we don't have like any meetups planned for Princess, but we will be at the Expo Friday evening, probably around 5 o'clock ish.
Yeah, it'll be around 5 o'clock Friday evening. We'll hang out after the 10K. We'll hang out after the half a little bit. We do have a flight to catch, so we may not be hanging out the whole time.
I get nervous about getting to the airport on time.
Yeah, I mean, we have plenty of time.
Yes,
but
yes.
Yeah, that's going to be a busy day, so we may not be around as long as we usually are after Princess Half Year. Again, this is our in and out weekend.
Yeah, this will be fun though.
Yeah, it will be fun. Hopefully, springtime we'll be hanging out a little bit more. Being there for all the races too is, a little more.
Come hang out with us after the 10K though. We got nowhere to be.
Yeah. But I think that is a great place to close us out here. If you are, rewatching this, again, comment what you're running this weekend. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in here. Again, thank you guys all for those that have watched live. We do appreciate you joining us and chatting in the comments here. I think I was going to say marathon video should be out this weekend or out this week if you are waiting on that. I actually have it like up and ready. I just need to do a couple more things to it. And then you will all get to enjoy that. I think that's my longest RunDisney video.
Ever?
Yeah, because this is the first time I had 3 cameras for the full marathon.
Because some of your full marathon ones are like 70 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's like an hour 30.
Nice long run on the treadmill.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good portion. I mean, it was a 340 something marathon.
Yeah.
So
are we in Florida on June 7th? We're in Florida on June 7th.
No, I don't think we are in Florida on June 7th. Because I think we will be running Grandma's Marathon.
I thought that was the week after.
It might be the week after. All right, let me
very interesting television.
close us out here. Thank you all again so much for watching. Good luck this weekend, and we will see you out there at Princess Weekend. Bye guys.